Hi guys, it's Chris at the Ultimate Recycler. Today we're going to look at a quick repurposing or upcycling job, probably one of the easiest ones on this 1950s infrared heat lamp. This came in a recent e-waste deal that I did. I collect e-waste and I had a big drop off, and I've done a video on the processing everything, and I'll put the link in the top right hand corner now. This was the best item that came out of the deal, and one of the great things about collecting e-waste is that you get some really cool vintage stuff. Now this is a probably 1950s heat lamp. It's a lovely hammer-tone vintage paint job. It's branded on these dials here, if I can get that to focus, Watt-Vic. And if we look underneath on the infrared heater part, it's where are we, Watson Victor, which is the Watt-Vic abbreviation, Australia and New Zealand. So it's a 240 volt 300 watt item, and there's the remains of the decal on the bottom here, which I think says Infratherm Therapeutic Infrared Unit. Shame that's not in better condition, but it's still there and we're going to preserve it. So I'll take you through just how I'm going to convert this safely into a desk lamp. And pretty easy project, very effective, and this industrial sort of flavour item will sell really well in the shop. So first things to do is to dismantle it. I will replace the cord with a more modern one, and this old Bakelite ring grip plug I won't use, but I will save it because I find that they sell quite well to people that restore vintage radios and things. Anyway, we'll dismantle it and I'll take you through the process. Alright, I won't bore you with the details, so I've edited this down fairly short. You can see I'm really just removing the top, removing the thumb screws, taking out the old infrared heater element, and then removing the fitting. There's a ceramic collar and a brass collar that holds the fitting in, and that frees up the shade. All we need to do is remove the old wires from the fitting and just make sure everything's okay there, and then we're right to go. Okay, that's enough dismantling. I didn't knock the pin out of the bottom here. I don't think it's necessary. I took the little screw out so that we can clean these up a little bit because they're a bit grotty. And the one from the top, both nicely branded. But this base will clean up fine. I'm not going to go to too much trouble in that I don't want to destroy what's left of the decal there. And the arm has a nice etched brand, Infratherm, as we read on the thingo before, just on the one side. I'll give that a bit of a polish up, and the base I'll clean up a little bit, and I'll probably spray it with a clear lacquer just to give it a nice finish. The shade I'm not going to try and panel beat. There's only little minor dents there, and to my mind they give it a bit of character. As you can see, they're evenly scattered inside. It would be impossible to get rid of those anyway, but it's, you know, part of its history. The only thing I will do is this top section sort of concave, I guess you'd call it, so I'll try and just straighten that out a bit. The light fitting's in good order, well, the fitting, and as it happens it's exactly the same. There's the infrared part, the heating element, and it's exactly the same thread as a modern light globe, so this will be a really easy conversion. The only problems I found was that the little collar that screwed in the back just to secure the wires must have been Bakelite or something, and it's broken off. So I'll see if I can find something to suit that, and we'll do some cleaning up and then we can just put it back together. Alright, after much searching through my boxes of junk, I could not find anything with that thread to act as a like a grommet for the cord to go through, but I did find a rubber boot from a cord. In fact, it's from this cord, and this cord's on is the one I'm going to use. it's kind of a vintage look, even though it's probably late 70s into the 80s. It's possibly off an iron or something, some appliance. It's rubbed through there, we better just check that. But the fabric looks nice, it's vintage, it'll suit the lamp. So what I'm going to do is I'll put this rubber boot through here and trim the end up so that it fits neatly, and that'll provide a good access point for the cord. And it's a 3-core cord with an earth wire, and whenever I'm making anything that's or repurposing or upcycling anything that's metallic, I really want to include an earth wire, even though the original one I don't think had an earth, and many lamps these days are just double insulated with no earth wire. But because this frame is metallic, I'm going to use the earth. Now, to get an earth point, I'm going to drill a fine hole through here. It has got a hole there for like a set screw, and it's threaded. So if I drill a little hole through the housing there, the wire can feed out from inside and I can put a screw. And I found a screw with the right thread, and that can anchor the earth, and then it'll provide a safety link for the entire lamp in case something goes wrong. Now, the screw I found is just a whisker long because I don't want it to push right in against the rubber boot. A little bit won't be too bad, but I don't want it too long, so I'm going to have to trim that screw down a little bit before I install it. Now I've just trimmed that screw down, and I'd threaded a square nut on there before I did it, and if ever you have to trim a screw down I just used a hacksaw. By putting a nut on first allows you to wind it out through the nut, and it actually gets rid of any burr that you may have created on the end of the thread with the hacksaw. So there we go, that screw's right to do. Now we need to drill a hole in this. And now I've just trimmed up that rubber boot and pushed it in, and I used a little bit of black Celastic, an old gasket compound that will help seal it, keep it firm. So that's quite neat. I'll leave that set overnight. Then we can bend the earth wire around and attach it with a screw through that hole, wire the active and the neutral up, and we should have a light pretty soon. So now, just before I assemble it, I wanted to flatten out this back of this shade. I've just used a large piece of wood here with a flat surface, and the aluminium bends very easily, so that's all good now. Now I've just got a pressure pack of clear lacquer, and all I've done in preparation is I've just washed the metal elements and used some very fine steel wool just in places to get any flaky paint and any slight sort of corrosion off it. It's mainly just dusty. This one was in pretty good condition, and I didn't want to damage that decal. So now we've got to wire the new cord in, or the new old cord. So there's just an active and a neutral wire. The terminals were nice and clean, and I'd always double the wire over so it pulls up tight on the terminals. Then fit the fitting back into the housing there, and then we've got to install the collars that hold it in. There's a brass collar for a start, and then this ceramic collar that just spaces the fitting properly in the centre of the unit, and there we go. And I didn't spray clear lacquer on the inside. The aluminium finish was fine. Fit the new globe, and then all it's a matter of doing is just installing this light head to the gooseneck with a couple of thumb screws, which cleaned up really well, and they've got that nice Watt-Vic logo on them. And there you go, it's taken shape, and it has a beautiful gloss with that clear lacquer. It just really adds to it, I think, whilst it still shows its patina. And now the moment of truth. She's all finished, and I'm plugging it into my mini tester to make sure it's all safe. We've got the earth clamp on the bracket here. Turn her on. Oh, look at that, beautiful. And there we have a really cool industrial style desk lamp. It looks great, just a little bit of gloss from the clear lacquer. All the dints and everything just really add to its character, I reckon. And as you can see from the tester, it passes on all aspects, including the earth. And if we just zoom up here, You can see the earth wire is quite neat just through there, and it does guarantee that if anything goes wrong, the metallic parts will all be earthed out. So there you go, great little lamp. I reckon that's come up really well. I've only got, I think, a 40-watt globe in there. You could easily go a lot brighter. The cord can certainly handle plenty of current, and the actual fitting itself for the infrared part was rated a lot higher, so perfectly safe to use. Adjustable angles at the top and also adjustable at the bottom. So I'm going to put that in my shop now. Really, for probably only an hour's work, I've created a great little piece for the shop, and I won't have any problems at all probably getting $100 for that. And I quite like the cloth cord. I think that goes well with it. Now there's no switch, as I've mentioned, but I don't think that's a problem. I wanted to use the old cord, and I didn't want to use a 2-core wire with a switch in line, because then we don't have an earth. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm going to put this in the shop now, and it'll look really great.